Hello everyone, Customs got a rework. Customs is my favorite map, so I was very apprehensively excited about this. Change is scary, but change can be good as well, and I think they've cooked here. It's got new textures, it's got new models, and most importantly, it's got a whole bunch of new layout changes and new areas. In this video, I'm going to walk us through all the new areas. I'm not going to point out all the texture and model changes, and I won't point out all the winter weather updates. Just know that they're there and they're not permanent. They'll be gone once the events and winter goes away later on. I've got a bunch of footage of pre-wipe customs for comparisons, and we'll probably do more videos on the map later in a longer format. We'll have the map up at times as well, so you can see where we are in game if you're lost or confused. First up, we're going to look at smaller map changes, then we'll get into the big boy meat and potato additions, then we'll wrap up on some new exfil information. Timestamps are below. Also, I'm just one dude, I've probably missed some stuff here, so let me know in the comments if I did, and we'll get a pinned comment going. Enough yapping, let's jump in. Alrighty, first up on the small changes, we're over at the trailer park section of the map on the east side of customs here, near Big Red. There's storage. This is what we call trailer park. You might call it something different. I'll use different call outs throughout this, but you got the map in the corner to show you where we're at. Real small change here. This little newspaper stand bus stop type deal was added right here. That wasn't here before. Not really sure why. There's a couple of these added to the map that you'll see later on. Just a small little thing. Might be good for you spawn down here, trailer park exfil. Someone spawns up there at the corner of the Big Red yard. A little bit more cover as you're running up the road here, because otherwise this was just open space, but it's really small little change there. Then if we come down here towards the trailer park exfil right there, this little corner has some sprucing up. You have this mesh cover over this little encampment area here with sandbags and these railings and whatnot. Funny little Easter egg, shipment of toilets in there. Looks like that one was used a little bit, or the paint's chipping, one of the two. Just some small little details, doesn't really change anything with the flow of the map, because no one's really back here anyway. Now we are in the back alley, the easternmost alley of storage. Just some small changes. Like I mentioned, there's going to be some new models and some new world building. You know, like maybe this spool was here before, but just as an example, there might be some small objects that weren't here before. You can see those in the comparison video I might do later on. I'm not going to touch on every single little one, just some major ones though. For example, this box with this lootable body here. Was not here before. These propane tanks were not here before. However, if you've been playing labs since the zombie event, you'll know that they added explosive ones to the maps, and the one laying down right here is one such explosive thing. Might be able to pull off some plays with that here, but be careful if you're messing around, because those do have a big explosion radius that hurts a lot and will kill you. Now we are on the front row, the westernmost row of storage. There's a little jump over down there is where you go into Big Red. This little shortcut here at unit 54 is now blocked off by some of said explosive containers. Now what this does is this shortcut that can be used in gunfights or, you know, to evade somebody is blocked off, and you're gonna have to give yourself a way to get through here now. And again, you got to be really careful, obviously, when you shoot these. Very, very loud. Everybody that spawned over here, of the many spawns that you can have on this side of the map, is going to know that you just shot that out, that you're over here, that you're looking around. And especially now at the beginning of the wipe, where people can safely assume that you don't know what those do because you've never seen them before. You might die and they might think that there's loot here, so when they hear that, they might rush over. Just something to be aware of, but a small little change there. Now once again, over by the car entrance slash exit over towards Big Red, in the snow right here, up against the wall, we have another explosive. Just something to be aware of if you're walking around here. Someone could shoot that out next to you when you least expect it, and kablowie, you're all done. Really small detail I wanted to point out here, we're just outside storage. There is the exfil for Crossroads. As you're running up here, I don't believe this was here before. They added this little decal. It's like a shadow of a kitted out PMC. sticking out from around that corner. I guarantee you people are going to get spooked by that and reactively shoot at it or freak out. Just be aware, this is not a guy. It's just paint on the wall. Pretty sure this wasn't here before, but that's a cheeky little addition that I thought I'd point out, because I'm sure people are going to give themselves away, or at least get spooked and have their heart jump a little bit by that. But then right next to it is the last thing on the east side of the map that I want to call out. We have these two Tarkov trucks over here. Very bright red, very pretty. Very evocative of the American Santa Coca-Cola ads that we have had all growing up here, that we all probably know. These are on other maps. They're on woods outside of the sawmill. I'm not sure what they're for yet. I assume they have something to do with the Christmas event. And it's making me wonder if they will remove them entirely once the events are over for the season. But I kind of like them being here, because otherwise this road is very open. This adds a lot of cover, even if it's you can see somebody back here and shoot underneath the truck and whatnot. But it adds a lot of visual clutter and means of moving around them to evade gunfire or fight back against gunfire in this general area that we did not have before. And I actually wanted to point out one other small little detail as you're coming across to enter Big Red Yard. Right here, this truck now has very, very bright headlights on it. I'm assuming at night might make it hard to see. Someone could be sitting here or back there and you're blinded. You can shoot them out. Just a small little detail. Now we are just across the bridge here in the center of the area outside of Skeleton there. Construction, whatever you want to call it. We used to call this Ice Cream 2. Ice Cream 1 is the shack over by dorms that got the same change, but this is obviously a new model. Looks a little bit sleeker. The inside is the same, however, I wanted to point it out because this back door is now freely openable. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but this used to be a breech door, or you needed a key, or just couldn't open at all. So, it's really small little change, but you might be able to make some plays with it that you couldn't otherwise before. Coming out here, here's another one of those little newspaper station type deals I was talking about before. That was definitely not here before, as you can see in the side-by-side. Again, doesn't really do anything, adds a little flair to the map, could be used as cover. This is a pretty open area. And then moving down the street towards Sniper Roadblock, we have the Christmas Village and tree for the event. I have to imagine that all of this will be removed when the event is over, but there is some really good loot all through here and stuff for the Christmas quests, as well as these are cover. You know, the street is otherwise completely naked and open, so these add a bit of cover to this area. Moving down towards Sniper Roadblock, though, we do have some changes. We have this truck here. We have this little tarped over encampment area here with a dead guy that you can loot. And then the real big change is back here. This used to be the dead end edge of the map, and now we have this area back here we can go through, and a little topsy-turvy maze back here. You got this area, and you can climb into the bus. And I have to assume that the Sniper Roadblock exfil is over here now. Definitely a bit longer to get to by a couple seconds, but it's probably a lot safer. You're not as out in the open over there, especially once the Christmas Village is gone. There's not a lot of cover over there. Granted, you could lay down behind the concrete blocks, but I do wonder why they put this back here if this is only a scav extract. So I don't know if this is going to be a transit to Shoreline down there later on, or if it already is and it just doesn't work in offline, I'm assuming. So yeah, this might be the transit to Shoreline as well. We also have these radios. I think you can turn them on or you can shoot them, because I have heard them play, but they're all over the place in the new parts of the map. Additionally, while we're out here, all this new stuff right here, this world building was added outside of the map. It is a little weird that they didn't add this, but I kind of get it, because I don't think they wanted to extend the map out this far, but it is kind of strange to have all this new stuff out here. But then there's just a border wall. I don't know. And then one other point to make over here, this collision is a little weird. To get out, you have to kind of duck down. Just look down and your PMC model will get smaller and you can get through, and then to get in, you do kind of have to mantle in or jump weirdly. Just something to keep in mind if you're being chased. Alrighty, the next little change that I want to point out is over here at the car exfil behind dorms 3. We have some extra trees added, and we have this little campsite added here. I assume some loot might spawn here, but I haven't seen anything yet, so it just might all be for visuals. But with the extra trees and this stuff right here, there's a lot more visual clutter, a little bit more concealment. You might be a little tiny bit safer from people passing through over there, or unaware people in dorms to sit here and exfil when the time comes. Granted, we have always been able to just sit over here and then run over when the timer's about to run anyway, but still, cozy little campfire scene. Cool little detail. Real quick while I'm passing through this area, shout out to Santa's sleigh over here. Now another set of really small changes down the hill from the Santa's sled. There's military checkpoint. Here's the military checkpoint, or military CP exfil. We have a little bit of extra world building and cover and concealment back here. First up, we have this little machine gun placement. Can't get on it. Hopefully it stays that way, because I think this would be scary and not needed over here on the map outside of people trolling and being campers. Little barrel, little van, some roadblocks, chair, campfire, extra car here, extra stop sign, and this little mesh canvas radio equipment little area is new. The dumpsters and the trash area where the exfil is are all the same, and the stash can still spawn over here. I have verified that. But cool little scene, extra detail added down here makes it feel a little bit more realistic and lived in. Now we're down the road here at the actual checkpoint building, and I want to point out a really small design change right here. You can no longer walk through this area. This part of the fence used to be open, but now it's closed off. Just something to keep in mind if you're here and you're getting shot at, you are kind of trapped in right here. There might be some kind of like parkour you can do over the fence. I believe this is barbed wire that will hurt you. But just keep in mind you cannot run through here anymore, where you used to be able to. And when I originally thought this, I thought, oh, maybe they're trying to incentivize using the checkpoint key over there, but this door is still not interactable either. I think if they're going to block this area off, it would be nice if the checkpoint key could also open this door. And then you could pass through the building to get to here. But otherwise, you still have to go through the hole in the wall over that way. And if you come into this area and someone's up on the hill shooting at you, you are pretty much fucked, because you can't get through here. You're going to have to run all the way back out, or do parkour over the fence if that's even possible, or run up the staircase and jump off and maybe break your legs. Just something to keep in mind. Alrighty, now we are in between the big silos over on the west side of the map. Factory far corners over there. These small little connecting buildings got slight layout changes. There's a little tool area. There might be loot in here now that is worth picking up, especially with the barter item changes. Pretty minor though, pretty much the same layout as before, just some small tweaks. Assume these guys will blow up as well. Not going to shoot them while I'm standing here. And coming up here, this back factory building here got a little bit of a facelift. The layout inside is pretty much the same, but if you look between the footage here, you will notice some slight differences. These whatever these are in the middle that you can climb up on look a lot better now, and the layout of the catwalk is just ever so slightly tweaked. Remember, this crate just used to be here, and this part here was not here. So you can climb up this one even farther now. And I believe they're just the same models now, so they're exactly the same on both sides. They were a little bit different before, but makes it a little bit more readable, a little bit more playability on there. Next, we are in the factory with the two sides of upstairs. I call it double side. We have several explosive barrels on the ground floor here, and then upstairs coming in from this door on the left side. And then a second thing that's really weird, I've heard reports of this being in other places. I only know of one other place, but a lot of light switches on customs are now interactable. You can turn the lights on and off. Obviously this one doesn't really do much. A lot of people don't even come in here. You know, you can get good loot in the corner here and have rollers on his wrist. But a lot of people don't even come in here and check this, so I don't know what this one's really going to accomplish other than making noise. Maybe you can bait people up here. But also if you shoot it out, it freaks out, makes a different noise. Just a cool little detail. Don't really know that it'll have any practical effects in the game, but we'll see. Next up, super small little change. There's the double-sided factory building that we were just in. This part of this pipe has been removed, so now you can just freely walk out of this little area right here. Before, this kind of ramped over it from this side, but if you wanted to go back over, if I recall correctly, you had to mantle or jump or walk around through there. Super small, but definitely affects the flow of things. This little, now coming through the fence here, this paradigm marked warehouse, storage container, warehouse type deal has had a bit of a facelift. There's some new stuff on the ground here, and the layout inside has changed ever so slightly. Largely the same. Most of the difference is like different models being used to space things out, the doors being different, but otherwise is pretty much the same, except for this area right here. These two containers with the forklift between them are a bit different because you can mantle up in here and use this to get an edge on opponents. You have to mantle up again right there is a little finicky, and with strength levels that jumps easier, but you can get on top of those crates anyway. But now you can get on top of these, you can get on top of those. Adds a little bit of verticality to this building. Just again, some small tweaks to the play spaces. Now we are over to the middle warehouse. There's the paradigm one we were just in. Again, not much has changed in here. The lighting's a bit better, especially because the glass is better now. And I haven't tested it, but you used to be able to jump through these windows, and I bet they have finally patched that out of the game. Looks like it. Maybe not. Maybe someone else better at jumping out of them can tell me. But it doesn't look like you can get through these anymore, which is a significant change for the people that knew, because the ones over there you could jump through as well. But other than that, there's this small little like torture scene that wasn't here before, and this area is a little bit opened up. I think I'd have to look at the side by side again that you're seeing right now. We have this like track thing here to this door. This door doesn't open, however, and otherwise the building's pretty much the same. You do have this open window right here too. You can see people and shoot through right here pretty easily if someone's walking along the back of the building. But otherwise, all the same. Just again, this is the other window you could jump through if you had the strength and skill and know-how to do so. Next up, for small changes, we're going to go into power building here. Pretty much entirely the same. I don't know any differences in this building except for one thing up here. The window all the way at the end upstairs here that people used to camp and snipe out of is way bigger, way more open now, which is obviously a double-sided sword because you're going to be easier to spot if you're sitting up here, but you have a little bit more of an angle because now you can go into that area, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but you have much more visual of that area now. Also gives this window a little bit more of an advantage because, you know, people can be in that window, people can be in those windows and down in this area. And moreover, again, we'll get into it. Same thing here. You can shoot through these. And people can be in this area now. So this window, you got to be careful right here. If someone's camping in here or going up the steps to snipe out of the window and you're running through between the buildings here, someone can shoot you through this window as well. Another very small bit of world building and flair for visuals. This checkpoint building has been added back here to Old Gas. This is the BP Depot quest thing. There's Old Gas. And here's the new little building. You can't go in it at all. It is quite literally just for visuals. Spruce up the exfil a little bit. Only real change inside of Stronghold here. We got in the corner right there, big boom, be mindful of those. Very small change in garage here that used to connect the yard outside of Stronghold. The elbow and crack house area over here in the RUAF is that there is now an extra doorway broken into the wall into one of the new buildings that we will get into in the major changes section of the video. Now, nothing has really changed here in crack house, but I did want to point out, if you read the patch notes, you will have seen that this opaque cube glass got a line in the patch notes upping its clarity, and that's just something to keep in mind here in crack house, as If you're walking down this hallway, if you're coming up the steps, if you're standing in here, before it was very easy to walk through here and not be seen because of how muddy the visuals of this glass used to be. But now it is very easy to see out of it, and it's very easy to see into it. To people in Stronghold, can very much see you when you're walking around in here. Just be careful. Alrighty, largely new gas. Pretty much nothing has changed. But the biggest thing about new gas, looks a lot better inside. It's a little bit brighter. You can see things in here more clearly. Rashala won't be hiding as much. Another one of those decals in the back corner there that might spook you as you're running by thinking somebody's going to sit there. But perhaps the biggest change is that we have an explosive barrel there and one right here. Implications for this, again, as always, be careful where you're spraying, be careful where you're shooting. If someone lobs a grenade in here, be very careful, because you have to worry about the grenade and that thing going off probably. Here we've got a new dead body looking over the edge of the bridge here in the middle of the map. Can loot it, but obviously kind of risky. Don't get caught out. Here's another small change that slipped me by. We can slide in here. This pipe is now detached. I don't know what they did with it. It's not here anymore, but you can just walk through here without the pipe. And then if you might have caught it there, there's a new stash spawn right here. Now you don't need to crouch under this. You can just walk through here either way. So before you had to kind of dip under the pipe. Coming into construction, this opening in the wall is a little bit more tighter, and that is due to the fact that this entire building was redone, remodeled, remastered. You can go inside of it. We'll get to that in just a second, because this is the end of the small changes. Just wanted to point out that our dear friend on the billboard here that always looked over us and watched over us and kept us safe on customs is now gone. Rest in peace, buddy. I hope you live on in private servers and are doing well. Alrighty, so to get on to the big meat and potatoes updates for the map, starting here in construction, we have what I believe is normally called Warehouse 17, and then this warehouse where the sniper scav can spawn on the roof, and then is attached to garage down there, down elbow. Down there is crack house. Both of these buildings are now fully updated, fully remodeled. This one generally looks the same from the outside, but this one completely different. There used to be like a green tarp with scaffolding here. Couldn't go into either one of them. There was doors on the side that you could breach, but you couldn't go into them. Now they all have completely done interiors with loot and all kinds of new ways to get through this area of the map undetected, to camp people, to rat people, to have good plays against them, not ratting. Excuse me. And then more importantly, this will affect how this whole area plays because of all the sightlines that are now available. So we can go right in here to this door, and we have a large open area here on the main floor. We have this door here that opens back out to the tip of elbow. All kinds of cover in here. Propane spawn. We got this door back here. Opens up into a little maintenance room. This door opens up farther down into elbow. We have this door here. Opens up into a little locker room. Another door opens up into a hallway. Some showers. Can't go through that door. This one goes back out into the main room. You also have a light switch here, which turns this light off right here. I actually just discovered that now. Can't go out through here. Yes, we can actually. This opens up into another little warehouse. My bad. I got my doors mixed up. We got another little room right here. Can't go through that door. We can toggle lights on here as well. This almost looks like it could be an exfil. I don't think it is though. Again, little warehouse here. This door opens up. The back of elbow. There's crack house. There's RUAF. This is the warehouse 17 scav extract. I believe it is still here. But they added this little road and this little stopper right here. I don't believe that we're here before. You can go back inside and also use this door if you want. This takes you out 2 feet down to the same spot. But that is the bulk of it. It actually looks like there's another toggleable switch here. Not sure what light that's turning on. Then we can go up to the second floor here. And this is kind of like out looking towards the valley and the bridge. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. There's RUAF. There's the bridge. So this is like a crazy spot to be at. You know, you got bush campers here all the time. You got people coming from Big Red off the spawn. You can counter snipe people on the bridge or that lay on the roof of the little guard shack at the end of the bridge. We got this room here. Probably loot. We got duffel bags and stuff, but again, same sight lines out this way. You got sight lines out towards the Christmas Village, out towards Ice Cream 2, construction. We can come down here. That's where we just came up. Then we have this bigger room. Again, more sight lines into construction. More loot probably. All kinds of good stuff. And before we go back out in the main room, we got a door here. Got another toggle switch for lights. Got a little office here. There's probably loot spawns in here too. I guarantee you there's going to be a quest or something. And you can climb up on top of here and get people that are down below you. Go through this door. Again, another little room. Probably loot, maybe quests. You could probably pull off some cheeky shit in here and shoot down on the people. Maybe. It is kind of hard to see actually. Might be able to, there you go. You can vault on top of this radiator a little bit. There's actually a spawn of Shustrilla right there on top of that ledge, so I'm assuming you can, might as well, let's go check that out real quick. Assuming you can vault on top of this stuff then. Yep. And get up here. This will probably be a crazy rat spot. But alrighty. Then back through here leads us back out. We got another light switch here. There's that light on. And we're back out into the first major room that we went into on this little catwalk. There will be loot here. We can go up even farther. Around the ceiling. Again, not much to go off of sightline wise this way. You might be able to get some cheeky shots in because that's RUAF right there through this crack. Is it? Or is that out of the map? No, that's RUAF. And you can go up here. Weapon crates. You can come through this area. See down into elbow. You can see into stronghold from here. Back into construction. People can be on those catwalks and those windows right there. Down in those windows. Coming out of those doors, as you'll see soon when we go over there. All kinds of sight lines. And we have this staircase. Takes us back down to a second part of the second floor. You can go into this room here. Nothing much to see here. Just a little dining room with some loot. Maybe some quest items. A window where you can get somebody coming in that or out of that door. And it just circles back down to where we were before. So yeah, this entire place offers a whole bunch of sight lines. I don't know if I saw that light earlier, but there it is. Offers a whole bunch of sight lines into RUAF, over towards the valley and the bridge and Big Red, construction, the crossroads over there, the bridge, the guardhouse across the bridge, all kinds of crazy sight lines. Then we can come over here now. I don't know that this building had a name because we could not go into it or on top of it or anything like that before. So I'm sure there will be a call out made for it, but we have this door that was always here and this door that was always here that you could breach and interact with but not open. And now we can go in. So much like the other one, we have a big, pretty open warehouse floor here. Nothing crazy going on. Probably loot, probably quests, a lot of verticality to play with in the gunfights. Got another little room over here, some bathrooms. Can toggle the light on in here. Pretty cool. Got loot there. Got another room back here in the corner on the first floor as well. And here is that other door I was mentioning before. Just a little locker room with loot. Jackets, duffel bags, probably loose loot somewhere too. And we got this door right here. It leads us into a big open area with some server rooms. There might be tech loot right here. And then we have this hallway, and earlier in the video I mentioned this hole in the wall because this is the existing garage. You used to be able to come in here. You still can, but now it also connects to this building. Which is really going to change up because, you know, if you're chasing somebody from RUAF and they come in here, or vice versa, they come in through that door, you used to know, all right, this person is going to be on this side of the building or this person is going to be on that side of the building. But now they could be anywhere. They could duck through here, and there's a million different ways they can get out of the building through here. But it is kind of dark in this area, and there's a lot of spots for rats to sit back underneath it there. We got loot, weapon cases, toolboxes, and then you come up into this area that is farther down towards Stronghold. Again, entirely inaccessible before. Kind of an open area. There's some loot spawns. This radio comes on and plays, I believe, someone from the community. And music and stuff like that. And again, you have different ways to get around the map now because you can vault right out of here. And look at that. Maybe someone was chasing you from Stronghold. You went in there before they knew, oh, this guy's going to be on that side of the building. But you went through, looped, came out here, and he's trying to chase you into there, and you're behind him now. Still don't believe you can get out of the map right here. I don't think they added anything here. So this is all still dead space, but really not much point having that open regardless. So if we hop back in the window here, this is all pretty cool, pretty chill little spot. You can see out into this little area before. This used to be a dead end. And then you can come out as well right through here. And you're out in construction along this blue fence. And it used to just be dead space right here. But now you can go into that building there. There's also a door right here that you can go back into. And we're on the first floor in the back corner of the first floor. Bathrooms in the corner over there. And the door we originally went through is right here. And then you might have noticed back here, we have this door as well. You can go in there, and it's just another bathroom entrance to the one we went in earlier. Okay. And we also have verticality in this room. We've got this staircase, we've got that staircase. This one just comes up to this platform. I don't think you can really do anything here. I would wager there's probably a quest to like tag this or do something with this, whatever the hell machine this is. But we can come up here and look at this. We got sightlines looking out that way that I don't really think you can do much with, but you can see into Stronghold. You can see back there along the train track, and we'll get to it later, but that new exfil is over there, and you could camp people going out there and be a menace. You can see into a new building over there and the sniper window over there. It's kind of hard to see because we're so far away. I wish I had a scope, but I'll probably point to it with an arrow on the video. These windows here allow you to see all the same things. You can see directly below you. You can see towards skeleton. You can see out the dorms 2 and 3 from here. Not super clearly, but you can probably catch people walking around all these areas now that otherwise they probably would have felt safe walking around in. And you can see my buddy standing there, so you can see all of construction from here. Back out towards Sniper Roadblock, you can see down the bridge, you can see the guard tower by the end of the bridge. All kinds of stuff, and you have all these catwalks for play inside the building. All the verticality in here. There's loot up here. This door doesn't open, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it might in the future, or this one might be a key This one might actually supposed to be go out to the roof, and they don't want you to do that. But this one probably has a key. And then we have a toggle switch for the lights in this room right here as well. And I don't believe this door does anything either. But yeah, that's about it for this building. Now the next thing is over here. There's a skeleton. There's stronghold. These are the towers where the sniper scavs can spawn, and right away you can see that these look completely different now. They're very I mean, I guess they're based on real life things, but they look steampunky to me. And then the whole area below, completely different. There's little rows of levels you can walk to. And then we'll kind of pan over here. This whole factory building that it's attached to, completely remodeled and different. This used to be the edge of the map here. You couldn't go left of where I'm standing now. And now we have this little area back here with more cover. We got the shipping container here, these barrels. You can see into the building right there. The whole side of this has been remodeled and is now open. And we'll come in here in a second. I just want to show the implications of outside the building. And another massive twist is that the space between this building and the power building right here, right? So you hop the wall and go in there, and that's the power building, and you could go up there and snipe towards stronghold. Earlier in the video you saw the inside of there because that little cracked glass area is much bigger now. But you can go between here. It used to be inaccessible entirely, but you can walk through here now. They moved the green tarp and scaffolding from in front of that building and construction to right here, and up-resed it a little bit. But this whole train track area you can walk through. Now it's a little weird because you can't go through here. You have to go through that door, and you can jump over the fence on this side as well. And with certain levels of strength, you might be able to parkour onto this. Yeah, probably a little bit more strength. You can probably parkour onto that and get around right there. But otherwise, there's the door that we just came through. From what I've seen, there isn't much here. There might be some loose loot. And again, it's very hard to see, but the stairs to go upstairs to there are right there. And it's much harder to see into it than it is out of it. So people can be right there and shoot you through that glass. Just be very careful. Now we have a hole in the fence right here that leads back around to the front of this building, which I believe is actually called Factory 4, but I always call it Power Building. And before, to get through to New Gas from here, you would normally jump up here, hop right over on here, and jump the fence there. Or you could go through this building and use 2 charges of a factory key to get through the doors here, because there's a door there and a door on the other side. But now you can still use those methods, but the key is kind of redundant in my opinion. It's still there as an option, I suppose, but if you're going towards New Gas, you can go right there over the car, or you can come through here. Is you can come through this fence now into what used to not exist. It's just used to be blocked off area. And then you can walk right through this hole in the fence now. And boom. And then vice versa. You could come through it here. And jump the wall and you're over there now. You don't need to use the gate anymore or run around the long way over there or over this way. Got a little hole in the fence right here. This side of the building's got some junk you can fight around. There might be loose loot as well. Got more shipping containers and whatnot. This is a little choke point. But this is the shipping container that connects out to the main road that used to be the edge of the map. We call it Portal. But if you can recall, I'll try to put some comparisons up. I don't think this container was here. The edge of the map was just like right here. And there was a little cubby back here with like a porta potty and then just a dead end, and then it went up through there. So this is all completely different, and we'll jump into this area here. On the ground floor, this loops back to what I showed at the very start of this section. As you can see, you can go back there as well, but there's nothing back there. Maybe a stash spawns back there, I don't know. But you can get low here and avoid detection. And then obviously there's stairs, and you can go on every single one of these levels. There's duffel bags, there's probably loose loot, but you can see out all into the yard in here, and the stronghold, and the skeleton, into that building we went through earlier, over the garage, over the crack house. And it's something you got to think about now. And you can go to all 4 levels of this: the ground, the 2nd floor, this is the 3rd floor, and then we have the 4th floor. Sniper scavs probably still spawning up there. Again, there's loose loot and toolboxes and duffel bags all over the place on these levels. And you got all kinds of vantage points up here now to watch out for and to use yourself. Now, I'm not going to do it just yet because I'd rather go from the ground up, but you can vault into the building from this 3rd floor of the, whatever you want to call this. It's not scaffolding, but that's what I liken it to. So you can access that building from there, but we're going to go in through the doors down here. The first of which I will show is right over here. You can enter in right there. There's a bigger opening right there with the Christmas tree. But if we walk in, we immediately have stairs up top there. And kind of like the other two, this is like the big open foundry floor. This one a lot more condensed. There's a lot more stuff in it. We got capybara on the wall. Hell yeah. I love capybaras, if you know me. We got all this open area. Probably loose loot. And we have this little area back here. And this is the big open door I pointed out before we went in. Nothing much in here. Next to this other big open area. And then this over here. A little bit tricky to get through the first time, actually. I guess I should have gone around the left side. Don't get trapped right there. And these are the big open blue doors that I walked by earlier that lead back out behind Stronghold, and the gate to get back in between these two buildings as well. Now there's also this new door tucked in here that you can open as well. And this goes into another room on the ground floor with loose loot, containers, another radio, probably quest stuff here as well. You got this little rat room right here. Imagine hiding here and getting somebody. Another radio. And then this comes back out to that other open room. Now, something else to point out, we walked by it earlier and I mentioned it, is that we have this glass here. You can vault out of this and you're back out along the pathway here that used to be the edge of the map. And vice versa, you can vault, maybe. You should be able to vault back into it, but it's new. It might not work yet. I'm sure they intend for you to be able to vault back into it, but we'll cut to me being back in. All right, so we'll pretend that I vaulted back in the window there, and we can come back around here, and we've got a little dirt mound ramp that takes us back up a floor. Now we're a floor up. We got more open spaces. We've got more vantage points out into the yard. If I could walk around this loot box. More sniper lines to all the spots that I mentioned earlier. So many different things to keep in the back of your head now for places that people could be. Loot, ways to evade, ways to get around the map that we didn't have access to before. We have this little sky bridge right here. That's kind of cool, kind of tucked back in. But again, you got sightlines here. And then that brings us back to the first room that we came into, but obviously we're higher up now. You've got these catwalks we can walk around on with more containers and stuff. You can get on top of this thingy and look out here. It's kind of hard to get more grounded view, but you can see to New Gas from here, which is pretty crazy. You can see out in front of Factory 4 power building. Still Even more close sight lines here. More of the same here. And then you can see out to dorms from here, which is pretty crazy. I think they strike a balance by not letting you be right up against it, but you can definitely snipe into dorms from here. Maybe even in through some of the windows and stuff, but and all the woods behind dorms. And then here are the bits of window I mentioned earlier. You can vault in through both of these openings into here from the outside as well and get the jump on somebody that might be below you. And then the last little bit of this area we can go over. It's back through the sky bridge. Actually, we got lights here that I didn't know about either. Toggle that light on. You probably toggle this one on right here. Is we can go up even further through this weird kind of tile staircase here. Goes up quite a few floors into yet another open area. You got a ring catwalk above the dirt ramp area from below. We got loose loot. We got boxes and stuff. And yet again, even more windows to look out into all these spots. We can see skeleton. We can see over to dorms from here. We can see the new buildings. We can see garage, stronghold, all these areas. Pretty incredible. Pretty crazy amount of stuff, spots I should say, to snipe out of that weren't there before. And then lastly, we have this little room here. Just a utility closet. Looks like a switch here as well that you can turn the light off for. Loose loot, toolbox. And then this room back here is actually pretty significant. We got tech spawns on the ground. We got construction materials, probably going to be quest stuff. We got a little office here, radio that plays music sometimes, and then we got a path out here. You can counter snipe the original sniper window right there. You can see into old gas from here. You can see people running along towards old gas or the wall jump. You can see under the bridge, all kinds of stuff. And then you can kind of look out this way, maybe you get some cheeky stuff outside of new gas there, but probably harder to hit from here. But yeah, that's about it for the major changes. Alrighty, for the first exfil, and I believe the only new PMC only one, hopped over to PvE so I could actually show how it works, because I am obviously going to be much more leveled up there. I have green flare on hand. We are on the train tracks out behind a stronghold right there. And it is over here where before it was just the edge of the map and a sniper scav would shoot at you. As we get closer to the here, you can see that there's a new sign with a green signal flare gun pointing up, and we just got the pop-up to shoot a signal flare. So you can fire a green one off, let it go, and then you should be good to just kind of walk out of the map here. And you shouldn't get shot at. And eventually, once you're far enough, you should be good to get, yep, the extraction. I'm not sure how far it extends. It looks like you have to be on the train tracks. That just made me fucking jump. So yeah, if you leave the tracks, you'll get shot at. But yeah, new extract right there. Now, I forgot to show this off when I was walking through this building, but there you can see out towards construction, that door to the bathroom there. If we come back down here in the corner, this is actually where the new co-op extract is. There's a little area with loot down here, and then there's this grated door over in the corner, and you can go down here, and if there's a PMC and a scav together down here, you both can extract using it. But remember, of course, co-op, you have to have both of those parties there. You cannot use this just by yourself on either party. And there's a light switch here, once again, to fuck with the lights if you want to do that, I guess. Then the last two new extracts are actually old reused ones, and they are Smuggler's Boat and ZB012, which I will show on the map for each one here if you're not familiar with where they are. They have typically been exfils where they're not always on, but sometimes they are on, or sometimes you have them and sometimes you don't, depending on where you spawn. I don't know if they still work that way in general, or if this new hidden extract system is the only way to have them anymore. So in this patch .16, they added a new system for most of the maps that we're calling hidden extracts, and that is these extracts are never open or shown to you on your extracts if you double tap O, unless you find a secret item on the map, and it'll just kind of spawn in random spots. Like scavs can have them in their pockets or their bags, they can be in filing cabinets, I'm sure they can be in other kinds of loot containers. But they're typically little scraps of paper that have some kind of flavor text on them. The one for this map is the paper with Voron code on it, and once you pick it up, if you double tap O, you will see that you will have the ability to go to either of these extracts again. And if you're not familiar, this is what Smuggler's Boat looks like and where it is located on the map. And this is what ZB1012 looks like and where it is located on the map as well. And at long last, that wraps up the video just about, and we wave goodbye to the old customs once and for all. If you watched this whole thing, thank you so very much. I hope you learned something that you might have missed, or this got you excited to jump in and play the new version of the map if you haven't yet. Again, I almost certainly probably missed some stuff, so just let me know in the comments if I did, and I'll get a pinned one going to catalog those updates, as well as post them in the description so they're in multiple places. I ended up rambling a lot through this and kind of showing a lot more than I probably needed to, but I really wanted to highlight all the new things and change things, both big and small, on this new version of Customs, my favorite map. I think that what I'll do going forward is condense this video down a little bit in certain parts and then split it into 2 or 3 new videos, one for the big stuff, one for the little stuff, and then maybe one for the extracts, and upload all 3 of them or 2 of them in more consumable portions. So maybe that'll mark it a little bit better, because I know there's some people that love these super long videos and some people that want to see someone get the facts in 5 minutes and then get the hell out of there. That is just the nature of our brains these days, but might do that. Some folks might not like the change to the map. It's gotten rid of some of the choke points and some of the areas of the map where you know for certain someone has to come through there, but I do think it has created much more dynamic play to the map in certain areas. It's created a whole bunch of new sightlines that can make parts of the map even more dangerous, and I really think that they've just upped the play of the map some. So right now I'm excited. We'll see in a few weeks or months after I've been sniped out of these new windows a couple times if I still like it. But thank you again so much for watching. I want to continue pushing my YouTube content forward in 2025. Dropping a like will help with that immensely, so if you do that, thank you in advance. I hope your holidays were wonderful. I hope your New Year's is as well. Have a good day. I love you. Peace.